everyone, and welcome here to this game of StarCraft II that was found on reddit.com/r/castit. I'll be your host, Thaco, and we'll see spawning here on Frost in actually horizontal spawn locations. And TVT, as our red Terran player, it is TheMagicT. And his opponent in the bottom right hand position, as our blue Terran player, it is EpicUnit. Now this will be a TVT with horizontal spawn locations on Frost. So, not a whole lot of map space to work with. Really, the entire top half of the map could just become irrelevant, as they are just going to be launching armies into each other's bases across the bottom half of the map. I mean, if we even get to the point where either of them have giant bio tank balls, it could also just be a situation where we see that one of them throws Reapers at, I mean, a huge mass Reaper would be an interesting play, not an unrealistic play, an interesting one at the very least. Both of them opening gas heavy here at the start. The EpicUnit a little gas heavier though, sacrificing some stuff to get that out even earlier. So he will both have that 50 minerals for a Reaper as soon as that's done, or he could go all the way up to Banshees very early, as both of them looks like are scouting, and EpicUnit will get the lucky scout here with that first scouting that horizontal spawn location, whereas the TheMagicT chose to instead go for checking that vertical spawn and continue to check around the map in that clockwise fashion. Will find his opponent last. Unless, of course, the way the opponent's SCV enters his base hints off to him that, well, okay, maybe he is horizontal from me, based on the fact that his SCV got here so fast, and I know he's not vertical. And nobody scouts cross spawns first. TheMagicT getting that orbital command down right away. Both players going right into that factory. Looks like they're mirroring each other's builds almost perfectly. An SCV lead was gained by the TheMagicT, but that was at the cost of some gas that the EpicUnit was able to get out a little earlier, and that means that he is getting this reactor down even earlier. So Reapers? Not Reapers, sorry. I meant to say Hellions. Hellions are looking like they might be the name of the game here out of EpicUnit. And we will have to wait even longer to see, that's the dead SCV there, wait even longer to see what we get coming out of the TheMagicT as he finishes off his factory and insta-starts his starport. While both players have their starport up and running, there are Marines being produced in large quantities out of the EpicUnit. He might just be going, oh, and the wall off was perfectly timed. The factory has vision, but he misses both the reactor on the barracks as well as the starport. There is the tech lab for that starport. That means we're going to see Banshees out of the TheMagicT. And EpicUnit is still not revealing to us. Maybe just drops here. Heavy Marine drops might be the name of the game here, as we see Widow Mines and now a medevac being produced out of EpicUnit. Looks like he is just going to be going for dropping things into his opponent's base very quickly, whereas the TheMagicT is going to be going for that Banshee play, getting a little supply block there, fixing that with a call down that was seen by the TheMagicUnit. Oh, and of course it was seen by the TheMagicUnit. He is the TheMagicUnit. I thought that was a scouting SCV. So that is why that drop happened with an SCV that close to everything. Okay, quite a large quantity of Marines are on the field for the TheMagicT, but EpicUnit's drop is coming out across the map and will be there momentarily. The Widow Mine actually is going to require a scan to find. The Banshee is going to have to keep the Banshee home to help defend this. The Marines are going to be a little out of position. There's a Widow Mine that's going to be out of position. That Widow Mine for EpicUnit burrows right away. He's focusing down that. Oh, and that kills off a large portion of his Marines already. Focusing down that tech lab. He wants to kill it before Banshee's cloak is done. It looks like he will be able to do a huge pull of the SCVs, trying to get back over there to repair it before it can be canceled. And it looks like he is going to be able to save it, but now he's got to deal with that Widow Mine. He's bringing his own Widow Mines over. That medevac still has a couple Marines in it. It is pushed back, but he is going to have to deal with that Widow Mine. With that Banshee that low on health, if he leaves it right there, that Widow Mine is going to kill it off momentarily. Oh my god, he cannot leave that right there. Oh, and that is the Banshee dead. He tried to use that to bait it out, but he was not successful. Now he's got to wait for another Banshee to be produced. All the while, back home, EpicUnit is getting out a Raven, and that Raven will mean that he has vision on it. And with a large quantity of Marines already on the map, that is going to prevent him from ever being able to successfully use that Banshee that he is producing. Oh, adding a lot of Widow Mine coverage here along the edge. That is what he needs to do. He needs to get more Marines out on the map. He needs to abandon this Banshee play. I think he's still hoping that he can sneak it by, but it's just too late for that at this point. As we see, Banshees for the EpicUnit are being produced as well. And he's just pulling some SCVs and bringing those along. This is going to be a huge push coming out of the EpicUnit right now. He's shoving across the map. He's ready to get this done. This could just be it right now. MagicT getting that Viking into production, so he has some air defense back home. Trading over that tech lab to the barracks so he can start producing stim and combat shield. He needs to start pushing this into a later game, getting additional barracks on the way. But if EpicUnit continues to shove across the map with this push, it will never even go to a later game. Tanks are now in production as well for the MagicT, but he is still set up entirely to deal with that air push from EpicUnit. EpicUnit not going to waste time with another drop. He's shoving in right now. Here he comes. He has a large quantity of SCVs. There's the scouting one getting ready. Hopefully he wants to disarm any Widow Mines that he sees with that, but there are no Widow Mines to disarm this natural. Oh, and it finished. It's going to be denied for the time being. There's nothing to prevent the ramp from, nothing to prevent EpicUnits from moving up the ramp. As there we see there are supply depots going down. This might actually force him into a supply block. Well, even the Widow Mines are getting taken out here. Huge number of SCVs being pulled. He wants to prevent any of his more vital units from being killed off. And EpicUnit's just doing this so carefully. He doesn't want to get caught out of position here. Raven killing off that Viking very, well, not quickly. Seeker Missile not quite enough to get all the damage done. There are a lot of command centers here for MagicT. He wants to try to get those positioned in defensive positions. Eats that Widow Mine shot with that. He's trying to shove up into that tank. That tank does a lot of good damage before it's finally taken out. The Raven gets taken out by the Viking. So there we go. That is the first good break that MagicT has gotten all game, as now his Banshees can successfully micro against the units of EpicUnit. And EpicUnit actually, this shove is going to get a lot of damage done, but it's not. Okay, he still has two Banshees that have to be dealt with, as he's trying to take out the tank with that, and that is enough damage. He cannot repair through that sheer output of damage. And at this point, what does MagicT have? MagicT is trying to produce anything he can. Stim is actually all he is producing right now. He's got nothing left. The majority of his workers are dead. He's trying to protect those with his Viking. His Viking trying to take out those Banshees, which do not have Cloak. Cloak finishing up momentarily. Can he kill off the final Banshee? No, he cannot. There we go. There is Cloak. He does have scans, but he wants to try to save those for mules if he can, but he needs to use them to kill off that final Banshee. He has 3 SCVs left. A lot of money in the bank. He's not producing. He needs to prevent that starport from burning down. Trying to use his Banshee to kill off that last tank of EpicUnit, and it looks like he might be able to successfully hold off this attack. But I mean, even if he's held it off, he's got nothing to stabilize back to. His army has just been devastated at this point. Trying to bring back the command center to repair. He's got 1 SCV, 2 SCVs, 3 SCVs. Got to bring up 2 of those to try to repair this. Got producing SCVs, only SCVs at this point, as his opponent continues to produce tanks and Marines. He's chilling on that 1 base economy, sitting on 9 workers. So we've transitioned into an incredibly low econ game, as we see now that the MagicUnit is able to stabilize into a almost equal economic footing at this point, because he can produce those SCVs so much quicker than the EpicUnit can. But the MagicT just got destroyed in that. Let's look at the units lost. About even, actually. Okay. So it was really the economic damage done to the SCVs that's going to hurt the MagicT over the course of this game, as he does not have any gas income at this point. He can produce only Marines, as he tries to stabilize with those 3 command centers worth of production. Looks like the Banshee going across the map, trying to get some damage done back on the far side, but a Raven is in production. There are Vikings on the field. The Banshee play has been shut down completely by the EpicUnit, even with missile turrets in his main base. I don't believe any upgrades have been produced. Banshee's cloak is the only thing on both sides. Stimpack was actually almost done for MagicT. I feel a little bad. His tech lab must have been sniped during that fight. Even the tech lab on the starport, actually he did transition off that earlier, trying to get medevacs in play so he can keep his marines alive. He does have that one Widow Mine trying to protect the coverage, even getting tanks out onto the map. I mean, this next shove is going to be very hard to hold. If this Widow Mine gets an amazing connection, this game will go on longer as he stabilizes, but it is coming up. He's most likely going to scout with those SCVs, and as a result, the only thing... Oh, he got the Viking, it looks like. Actually, that is a big pickup for him, as well as some damage going down onto those SCVs. Tank is going to take out that Widow Mine, and we are going to see that this just turns into a long, drawn-out siege. Both players trying to produce as much as they can. But MagicT spent a lot trying to re-max out his supply depot count, his SCV count. As a result, he does not quite have the economy he needs for the marine production. Getting better coverage with his tank, trying to outrange that Seeker missile, and he is successfully able to do it. That is disarmed and nullified. Trying to use that to scout forward. That cloaked Banshee is going to be everything he needs. If he had actually shoved forward his tanks at the same time, but that tank, as that tank falls, there is no defense left for the MagicT. His last Marines are picked off here by the tanks of the Epic unit, and there's just nothing, and there is the leaving of the game by the Epic unit left the game. MagicT is victorious. What? Oh. Wow. I felt like the Epic unit was ahead there. I would not have called that leaving of the game. Okay. Congratulations to the MagicT on some amazingly held attacks. Oh. Okay. Yeah. That happened. Congratulations to the MagicT. That was an amazing hold. And I hope you will all join me for more games of StarCraft in the future. Thank you all. Good night.